When you buy 10 tickets on Vivid Seats, you get the 11th ticket free. I wonder what my 11th will be.
Hey! You're trash!
Living rent-free in a hockey player's head?
Or maybe just make some noise!
What's your 11th?
Time now for Saturday Sounds, brought to you by Sonos.
First and goal. KJ's going to run it again. Diving, fumbles the ball! Fumbles the ball, and Chappelle's got it! Tyreek Chappelle in the right spot as he hands it off to Richardson. Here he goes! Wow! Can you believe this? What a turn!
13-point differential, really, in one play right there, with KJ Jefferson diving from the 5, Russell popping the ball out, Richardson getting it, giving it, or maybe having it taken away.
That's right.
As Chappelle originally had it and Richardson had it and scored the touchdown, and the whole game flipped in Arlington last Saturday. Jalen Jones did go off the field under his own power after getting hit in the head on that last play. 2nd and 7, and Rodgers takes a hit and throws it ahead to Woody Marks for a few. Alyssa, how about that Richardson-Chappelle touchdown last week?
Yeah, I talked to both of those guys this week, and I said, Damani, it didn't look like a handoff. It kind of looked like he just ripped it out of his hands. And he said, yeah, it was about 50-50, me taking it from him and him handing it to me. I asked Tyreek to go through the play with me. He said, well, I picked up the fumble. All I saw was 100 yards of green, but it was a 14-play drive. I was kind of tired. I saw Damani coming, screaming, give me the ball, give me the ball. No one was going to stop him, so I gave it to him. Then he said, hey, man, you scored my touchdown when they came over the sidelines.
Play of the year so far for A&M. It's a first down run for Mississippi State, but there are flags on the field. Today's referee is Kyle Olson.
Holding, offense, number 63. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 3rd down.
Stench, that's the center. LaQuinston Sharp, the only returning player that is at the same position as last year.
The guy they've really counted on too. Veteran presence up front, just too much grab. Spun the defender around, an easy call for the umpire to make.
So instead of close to first down yardage, they're outside their own 20. Slings it across the middle, and it's caught by Harvey. His 3rd catch is a first down to the 35. 16 more for the sophomore.
God, what a window. And Will Rogers fitting that in there just in time, too. You've got 2 defenders converging. As you see Richardson coming in, Cooper in coverage. He fits it right between the safety and backer.
There goes Harvey in motion. Rodgers locks instead underneath to Rara Thomas up to the 42. It's interesting, Austin Williams, Jameer Calvin, Tulu Griffin, all those guys are still a big part of the offense, as is Woody Marks, but Rara Thomas, Caleb Ducking, those guys have emerged now as some of Rodgers' favorite targets. Rufus Harvey already 3 catches today. Rodgers has all day and gets rid of it past the 45, where the next catch is made by Justin Robinson, a transfer from Georgia. Had 2 catches in his career in Athens. He has 4 in the last 2 weeks here.
Well, and you mentioned the time. Rodgers allowing things to develop, ultimately collapsed inside out. Doesn't flush, doesn't panic. A couple of steps to his right, deliver a strike downfield. You see Jalen Jones there on the sideline. We'll see him with his helmet, but good to see him standing up and watching the ball game.
First down Bulldogs at their own 45. Dylan Johnson bounces off of one defender and gets up to the 49. Johnson broke one for 40 yards last week at maybe I just want to believe this, Stinch, but it feels like Mike Leach is trying to run the football more this year.
I think there's no doubt that there's an intention there, especially if you're going to commit to just playing 3 down line. And once again, we've seen that only a handful of times, really, on this drive. DJ Durkin said we're going to have to mix it up as a flag on the field.
False start. Offense. Number 64. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And it's Losoya starting, as you said, Stinch, at left guard today with Dollar Bill Johnson out.
That guy, forced into the service, going to run the football again, right? Get a little antsy. Want to get a head start on that run block. But what you have to do sometimes with these defensive coordinators and fronts where they say, look, we're going to try to drop 8 and control the line of scrimmage with just 3, you got to run them out of it. Mississippi State's been more intentional there this year.
Here's a toss to Johnson. And he'll pick up a yard, maybe 2, where Chappelle, the cornerback, comes up to make the tackle. Now 3rd and 9.
One of the things to look for is the running back's alignment. When he's offset, Mississippi State lives in the shotgun. But when that back is about 1.5 yards, 2 yards behind in that offset, it's almost always a downhill run. When he's even with Rogers like he is here, obviously a 3rd down, it's a passing obvious.
Rogers underneath to Marks. He's into Bulldog or Aggie territory rather, inside the 49, but Chris Russell and Edgerrin Cooper, those linebackers, force a 4th down.
Well, as Mike Leach is the play caller and head coach, he doesn't have to consult really with anybody, right? So you make a play call knowing that, look, we're at midfield. This is 4-down territory. They didn't flinch. They're staying over the ball. You check that down, pick up what you can, and make it 4th and somewhat manageable here at midfield.
They're 4 of 7 on 4th down this year.
A&M's got Cooper, Edgerrin Cooper, number 45, sugared up in the line of scrimmage and coming.
Running it, and Marks hits the hole hard, and it appears to be enough. Cooper tackled him right at the 45. Let's see where they mark this.
How about that? The inserts to the left of the line of scrimmage. Cooper was at the line of scrimmage on the right. You run right at Chris Russell for the 1st down. Russell, the linebacker for the Aggies, was off the line of scrimmage. You call that a bubble. Run it into the bubble. There's no D lineman right there. There's a void. The left guard climbs up. That time Stephen Losoya climbs up, covers up Chris Russell. Enough for the 1st down.
Takes guts to go for it on 4th down outside your own 45. And then on top of that, run it. Here's the 14th play of the drive for Rogers. And this will go to Tulu Griffin, and he'll get 1 ahead to the 44. Mississippi State rarely traditionally runs the football in this air raid offense. Instead, they throw it for 2 yards, for 3 yards, for a yard, just like most teams would run it for that distance.
Exactly.
Third penalty on this drive so far.
False start. Offense. Number 57. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That's both guards now, but that's Cole Smith. He's a regular starter in there at right guard. Looked like Mississippi State was working on the clap cadence. Cole Smith just a little bit early. Son of Brad Smith, great football player. Spent some time with the Miami Dolphins in the pros.
Second and 14. All day for Rogers. Again into dangerous traffic, and Edgerrin Cooper got a hand on it. The guy leads the SEC in pass breakups for a reason.
Well, and Antonio Johnson, his teammate, is livid because if Cooper doesn't break up that pass, Johnson picks it off. Well, that's twice now Will Rogers has put the ball in jeopardy. See Antonio Johnson, number 27, just out of the frame. Watch him break. That's a pick going the other way. Cooper can't know that, of course. I'm sure Antonio Johnson may let him know, hey man, that's a pick for me.
3rd and 14 now for Rogers. And he gets it down to the 42, maybe the 43 to Marks. But again, it sets up a 4th down. Coach Leach has Will Rogers staying on the field for now. Here he comes.
Yeah, and that's got to be incredibly frustrating, right? Offensively. Plenty of time in this game, of course, but you convert a 4th down, great run play, right? And then you get a procedure penalty to back you up. It completely diffuses your drive.
How many times have you seen a 16-play, 49-yard drive?
Doesn't happen often, buddy. That's what happens when you go backwards like 3 different times on the same possession.
George Georgopoulos is punting this one after Trafford pinned the Aggies deep the first time. And Georgopoulos says, I can do it too. Muhammad did not call for a fair catch, and he does get a couple of yards up to the 10. No score early in Starkville, filled with maroon.
What makes for a great story? A great story has magic, power, and every once in a while, it has miracles. It needs an opening that sucks you in, and a mind-blowing ending that has you hanging on every snap. That's what makes for a great story. And as luck would have it, that's our story.
Hi, I'm Malak, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is it has that kick. Not too spicy, but it's just enough for your taste buds to feel that level of heat. And you're like, ooh, this is good. It's the perfect amount of spicy.
Hi, I'm Capri, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the chicken. You can tell they actually put it on the grill, cooked it in the sauce, marinated it. You're definitely getting a good grilled spicy sandwich.
When you have auto glass damage, let Safelite come to you. My customer enjoys time with her family. So when her windshield got a crack, she scheduled with Safelite in just a few clicks. We came to her house, replaced the windshield, and installed new wipers. That's service on her time.
Here you go.
Wow, thank you. Bye. Don't wait, schedule now.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
It has always started with the call to serve, fighting and winning for our nation. But Marines are never really finished. They serve in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis. Always faithful, always Marine.
It's gonna be a touchdown.
Good morning, America.
Somebody going for you?
Not yet.
Who says you can't go for bold without going broke? Get the brands you want, the prices you want, whenever you want. TJ Maxx, where you can always afford to be you to the max.
Hey, it's me, your skin. I crave being done with acne, but treating leaves me red, flaky, irritated. CeraVe Acne Cleanser. Foams with benzoyl peroxide to treat my acne, while 3 essential ceramides in CeraVe help restore my natural barrier. With CeraVe, we can treat our acne, heal, and face the world.
CeraVe Acne Foaming Cleanser, from the #1 dermatologist-recommended skincare brand.
Coming up at 7:30 Eastern, #1 Georgia's in Columbia squaring off against Mizzou in our SEC Saturday night matchup. It's also available on the ESPN app. I would imagine you have some angry dogs after they didn't have their way with Kent State last Saturday. We saw that in Athens, and I don't know that I've ever seen a team lose the way Mizzou did to Auburn. That crazy finish on the Plains. Here we've got no score, and there goes Devon Achane. Camryn Richardson rides him out of bounds, but one of the best tailbacks in America with a big gain. There is a flag down near the end of the play. For the moment, it's a 20-yard pickup.
After the play, personal foul, face mask, defense, number 3. 15 yards will be added to the end of the play. First down.
You talk about, so you have your opponent pinned deep. You let them out of the gate with a nice run. And this happens sometimes. You got cut loose there towards the end, right? You get a running back. They usually, oftentimes you'll see it's like a joint face massage, right? The running back gets his hand up there in your face mask. You put your hand on his face mask. That time it was just Richardson grabbing the cage of A-Chain.
I'm not signing up for that. Le'Veon Moss makes his debut as an Aggie. The true freshman from just outside Baton Rouge, and Jimbo Fisher was raving about this guy yesterday, saying, I think he's ready for his debut. Well, there he is with the carry for 3 yards.
Yeah, you could say that for a lot of this team, except the guys that needed to be debuting around week 4 and 5, they've had to debut earlier. We talked about how young this team is. We're talking along the front, not just skill players like Le'Veon Moss. Part of the reason we're seeing him is Anaya Smith's absence.
It's the end of the first quarter. Mississippi State dominated the time of possession, but no score at the end of one in Stark Vegas on a beautiful sun-drenched Saturday. The Aggies and Bulldogs on SEC Network Football, presented by Allstate.
You see it every day. The first dollar you earned from your first customer. Now, it hangs on your wall at headquarters, a reminder of where you started and the promise of what's still possible. In part, because you rely on a banking partner to help you make the right choices on treasury management services and leasehold and equipment loans. We believe real banking is a conversation. Let's talk about your business. Sandy Spring Bank.
This may be the last big hurrah.
You have to do something dramatic, and you have to do it now.
Mets, Braves, a division title still up for grabs on Sunday Night Baseball.
Yo, my name is Luis, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the different flavors that are hitting your mouth at every millisecond. You get the explosion and the zestiness of the chicken, then that spice just kicks in, and if you had that cilantro lime, perfection.
Hi, this is Becky, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is that marinade. They make sure that it is on the entire piece of chicken and not just on top. The pepper, whatever else is secret in their marinade, is amazing.
Bounce pass on the basket. Gafford weaves and slams. Oh, Gafford, one dribble, 2 points. Hachimura, oh, it's there. Rui Hachimura. That's the way you get things to Vucevic. And blocked from behind by Porzingis. And Beal to the basket, bank, and one. And he flexes his muscle. There's a top yard catch and shoot for 3. It's there. Cuts to his right foul line. We're all slam. Wham! There was some anger in that one.
That's just a Klarna reward. Again, he's there to give a little extra something whenever you shop and pay with Klarna. But he's the real gift.
Here's the problem. Nobody knows what Hulu Plus Live TV is.
Yeah, it comes with over 75 live channels with sports like NFL games, plus Disney Plus, plus ESPN Plus.
What if we call it Hulu Plus Live TV Plus Plus Plus?
That's dumb, but we're going to go with it.
Noka with his studio update brought to you by Arby's. Alabama off to a quick start against Arkansas, up 14-0. Bryce Young takes this in. He's also thrown a touchdown pass, but moments ago left the game pointing to his shoulder. We don't know his status, but it's 14-0 time.
Thank you, Dari. Here, Max Johnson throws behind the line of scrimmage, lateraling to Evan Stewart. He lost his momentum there, and he goes ahead to the 46-yard line where Jackie Matthews was waiting for a tackle. It's 3rd down for Texas A&M against Mississippi State in the second quarter.
So far, Mississippi State hasn't brought more than 4 rushers. Spent a lot of time making sure that they've got plenty of defenders to handle the route tree. Now, only 3. You see now 5 guys in the tackle box.
Johnson all day swings it out to A-Chain, and he's game tackled short of the first down at the 46-yard line. DeCamerion Richardson was first. Back to the bench go the Aggies.
And number 3 for Mississippi State came to play. Now, he had that face mask penalty earlier, but that's 2 fantastic open field tackles. How about Devon A-Chain, one of the most explosive playmakers in the conference. He's got the ball in space. That's an intimidating proposition. Richardson's been up to the task repeatedly early in this game.
Thomas back deep for Mississippi State, waiting on Constantinu. Thomas will have a chance, but is tackled short of the 20. This one's being played tomorrow afternoon because of Hurricane Ian. Quarterback Anthony Richardson in Florida hosts Eastern Washington at the Swamp. Coverage begins at noon Eastern on SEC Network Plus and ESPN Plus. To watch the game, go to ESPNplus.com or download the ESPN app. Thinking about everybody, especially in the Sunshine State, from the Gulf Coast and throughout that state, that have lost power and had damage to their property. Encourage everybody to help the rebuild down there. What has been a trying week. Brian George is in at cornerback, replacing Jalen Jones. And Mississippi State is committing penalties left and right in the first half.
It's just inexplicable.
False start. Offense, number 58. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's already 5 of them, Stinch, for 40 yards.
It's pretty remarkable. This all along the offensive front. And these are guys, Cameron Jones is a regular starter at right tackle. To be early like that.
1st and 15 for Rogers. Swings it to Johnson, and Dillon is tackled in the backfield for a loss. That's Chappelle.
Nice play by Chappelle. The guy that they talk about. He does an excellent job. He's around the football a lot, active in run support. This game, of course, obviously a lot of swing passes, a lot of short routes. Challenges the secondary players of the Aggies to make plays in space.
2nd and 18. Rogers barely got it off to Dylan Johnson near the original line of scrimmage. Richardson there to make another tackle. 3rd down, Bulldogs.
And the challenge, of course, is A&M persisting, saying, look, we're going to try to get home, contain Rogers, see if we can move him off the mark, but flood the route tree with defenders. Now, that playbook's been around since Mike Leach came into the conference, but they're allowing the completions in front of them and then challenging themselves to make the tackle so there's no yards after catch.
State just 2 of 6 on 3rd down. This is almost picked off. It was Johnson who was thinking about the end zone. That's 2 of them Johnson's had his hands on.
Trying to get it to Jaden Wally. It looked as if Wally just shut it down on the route. See Richardson, that's the 2nd would-be pick that he's had. That's 3 different near misses for the Aggie defense in this game. Rogers on different page than Jaden Wally on that route.
Johnson, who was the SEC Defensive Player of the Week last week, is off to a hot start today. Georgopoulos at a 35-yard punt. The first time, Muhammad stands at his own 40. They'll have a chance at this one. Here comes Moose around the corner and stays on his feet inside the 40. Mississippi State wanted a block in the back. They're not going to get it. The Aggies have terrific field position when you come back.
Dish and Sling customers, ESPN is no longer available on your TV lineup. Don't miss out on college football, Monday Night Football, MLB, SportsCenter, and more. Go to keepmyespn.com for more information. Dish and Sling customers, these networks are no longer available on your TV lineup, including ESPN, Freeform, the Disney channels, Nat Geo, FX, and more. Go to keepmydisney.com for more information.
If you're always asking, where next? Capital One has the travel card for you. Venture X. Earn 10x miles on hotels and 5x miles on flights booked through Capital One Travel. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges. Find your where next with Venture X. What's in your wallet?
Academy Sports and Outdoors is the home for all your baseball and softball needs. With the top brands in gloves, including Rawlings and Wilson, and the best bats in the game, from Louisville Slugger, Marucci, and more. We've got what you need in here to have fun out there. It's time to get back on the field and kickstart your best season yet. All your gear is at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
If Damian Lillard accepted his spot at the end of the bench, he never would have been at the rec center before it opened. If he listened to those who overlooked him, he never would have heard his name called as a first-round pick. And if he let 6 all-star selections go to his head, he never would have had the heart to give back to the streets that shaped him. That's the fighting spirit. That's what makes a lion. Modelo, root for those with a fighting spirit.
Hulu Ad Manager is the easy way for businesses like yours to advertise on Hulu. Think of it, your ad. Ads on a platform with the best TV around. Get started for as little as $500 per campaign. Sign up for Hulu Ad Manager today.
Dorian O'Kane in studio. A few minutes ago, I mentioned Bryce Young left the game against Arkansas, pointing to his shoulder. He is out. His replacement, second-year quarterback Jalen Milroe, who takes that to the house. It's 21-zip in Fayetteville.
Hope Bryce is okay. Milroe has looked good. Is a great athlete, more of a running threat for the Tide. Those are two SEC West foes that these two schools know well. The Aggies have great field position starting this drive inside the Mississippi State 40, and A-Chain is free down near the 25. He has truly been a one-man wrecking crew so far.
In that time, that ball was intended to go outside. What A&M does is they're creating angles at the point of attack. They're trying to pin down on the outside blockers and then pulling the inside blockers outside to escort A-Chain to the perimeter. Instead, what A-Chain does is he gets downhill. Watch him run into that void. Bounces out of that big scrum. Nobody gets wrapped up on him. You better bring a friend. He doesn't look that big, but if you're going to get him on the ground, it's going to take more than one.
He has 61 of A&M's 70 offensive yards so far, and he's got the ball here inside the 20, down near the 17. Before the game, Jimbo Fisher was talking about the loss of Anais Smith. Other players were going to have to step up. So far, he's riding the other guy he's been using all season.
And on this carry, now this is 5th rushing attempt. And you look at his career at Texas A&M, the most attempts he's had in a game was 20. That was last year versus South Carolina.
This is only A&M's 7th trip to the red zone in 5 games. It's one of the lowest totals in college football. A-Chain finds another huge hole. He fumbles the ball, though, and it's picked up by the Bulldogs. Colin Duncan forced the fumble. And it was DeCamerion Richardson who gobbled it up.
Hey, Richardson, have yourself a day, buddy. Watch Duncan. So he's raking. That ball's already out. He was still raking for it. The ball was out early. Richardson's there to be the beneficiary. 3 fumble recoveries this season for this Mississippi State. Look at the hole. A-Chain's just picking his way. Great job. That ball came flying out before the scrum even arrived. We just got done talking about it. Devon A-Chain, they got to get him touches, but it has been entirely his show. Both catches, Devon A-Chain. All the carries, largely Devon A-Chain. If it isn't Max Johnson, we've seen 1 carry by one other guy, and that was by Moss, a true freshman.
Bulldogs start at their own 6. And they'll run it with Price, breaking a tackle up to the 10, and he lost the ball for a second. Price, the redshirt freshman from Pensacola, Florida, who scored his first touchdown of his career last week.
He's got the ball there. He's got control of it. Definitely the ground causes that.
Rogers throws the one-on-one ball, and it's a great catch by Ra-Ra Thomas. 20-yard pickup.
It's just a matter of time. You talked about it earlier, Taylor. Mississippi State will kind of dink and dunk you, then they take a shot. That time, Thomas does a great job of fighting back through the defender for the ball.
Beat Brian George, who came in the game for Jalen Jones after he was injured in the first quarter. And it's Marks running hard past the 40.
About that, you get back over the football. This is not a high-tempo offense, but over the football quickly. After a big gainer, we throw a couple of body blows, run right up the middle.
Now it's Price getting a block. First down Bulldogs inside the Aggie 40.
What a great block on the edge. They do an excellent job of capturing the edge, as Woody Marks does a great job getting up there. Not just a great ball carrier in number 7. A&M, as you see, they're being allowed to substitute. Fans don't like it, but if you sub offensively, the defense has to be afforded a chance to sub as well.
It's a 19-yard pickup for Price on the last play, and as you said, both of them are back there again. Fake to Price this time. Rogers surveys the entire field and eventually dumps it off underneath to Justin Robinson for a few.
It looked like he was looking to hit a slant right now. Instead came off of it wisely. A&M had that well defended, pulled it down, and just gain what you can. Right now Mississippi State in that rhythm. And this offensive drive sparked by the big catch by Ra-Ra Thomas on the outside.
Price goes out. Dylan Johnson comes in to join Marks in the backfield. Plenty of time on that play clock for Will Rogers. And that is his 900th completion of his collegiate career. It goes to Justin Robinson for a first down.
He's more than just proficient. This is a guy, the accuracy, the decision making. We talk about it though in this game. He's got away with a few throws in this one. But right now, very much in rhythm and in a groove offensively.
He passed Chris Leak, the former Florida Gator, for second all-time in SEC completions. And he's got a couple dozen to go to get the record that Aaron Murray holds. Dancing all over the place on this play, looking more like Johnny Manziel, and it was incomplete. Edgerrin Cooper was all over him in the backfield.
You see Rogers, the clap there, a little bit of frustration, trying to keep that one alive. That's a couple of passes now where he's had to scramble around to try to extend the play. Cooper, one of the few veteran players, albeit still just a sophomore for that defense, that has some experience in their front 5 or 6 defenders.
2nd and 10 Bulldogs. At the 28, Dylan Johnson right through the big hole. First down, Bulldogs near the 11. Alert in Starkville. Mike Leach is running the football right at the Aggies.
And you see, watch him sugar up. And Cooper comes upfield. Great job by left guard Stephen Lasoya. Just guides him to the outside. And you hit that. It's just a dive play. You're just getting right downhill right now. You got two bubbles. Both those guards are uncovered. Linebacker walks up on you. They cover him up. And once you get past the line of scrimmage, you've got 5 yards.
And it's a shovel pass to Marks. And Woody's down near the 5. Stinch, we've said Mississippi State has shown more of an emphasis in running the football this season, especially today with Texas A&M's inexperienced defensive line.
Yeah, that's one of the issues that they've had this year is run fits, knowing how to fit the run versus an offense like this. You've got fewer bodies to make it right. If you fit it wrong up front, there's not as many in the second line to make you right.
Of course, that one counted as a pass. Rodgers back shoulder over the head of Caleb Ducking. Denver Harris in coverage.
That's the first time we've seen Ducking targeted in this game. He's had some big performances, namely last week. That's a big, long receiver, just too much on that ball. And they're saying, look, the crowd wanted PI. That ball was not catchable.
Well, we've seen him do the duck 5 times already this year, twice last week.
And by himself at the top of the screen again.
It's 3rd and 3. Hill's going to try it again, and he's got it. Cue the duck.
Well, they go right back to him. Last time it was thrown to the corner, this time back shoulder. You see it right there, right? A big, long receiver. Hard to defend. A big, rangy guy. We were down there with him. He's every inch of 6'5".
Mississippi State has scored 13 straight touchdowns in the red zone. They don't just clang and clang, they quack and quack. 7-0 Mississippi State.
This just in, a giant robot has landed downtown.
Hey, Craig.
Hey, guys. This is just my workout stuff.
If you have a secret identity, you need to keep it secret. And if you want to save by bundling home and car insurance, you need Geico.
You're still wearing your mask, dude.
For you, I wish many things. To see all the world can be. But most of all, I wish you'll never stop wishing.
Over 100 crispy Old World pepperoni.
Cheesy crust edge?
This Fanceroni pepperoni from Little Caesars is fancy.
Am I fancy enough for the Fanceroni? I'm wearing cargo shorts.
But Tim, me too. Fancy isn't measured by your inseam. Fancy comes from here. Cause if you are what you eat, then we're all feeling mighty fancy today. Yeah!
Try the Fanceroni pepperoni with over 100 Old World pepperoni.
Pizza, pizza.
Who says you can't go for bold without going broke? Get the brands you want, the prices you want, whenever you want. TJ Maxx, where you can always afford to be you to the max.
Quiet.
When I told pretty Tony, listen to my tone, you ain't catching you a Tony. Award-winning walk when you running with a shotty. Why you running from us? Why you messing with us? Maybe polar. You ain't ready, ready, roll up. Pull up machete, cut the bamboo paper. Let's roll out, baby, loud. Frankie.
You said close your eyes, don't look down.
Since 1960, the university in Starkville has been referred to as the Mississippi State Bulldogs, but before that, they were the Mississippi State Maroons and the Mississippi State College Maroons. And originally, the school was called Mississippi A&M. But what was their original nickname? The Aggies. That's right, the school originally decided on that nickname as a way to pay tribute to the agricultural training the school offered to its students. Everyone can see that these two schools share the same exact colors, maroon and white, but they used to share the same nickname too. Hard to imagine that right now with this school so synonymous with that Bulldog.
It's kind of crazy, right? The way things kind of evolve over time, although as you pointed out, the colors persisted. Mascots change. Maroon is forever.
How about the team that will always be called the A&M Aggies, Stench? How do they get going on offense? Devon Achane has been their only option, but he fumbled the football inside the 10-yard line on the last drive.
Such a costly mistake because possessions and plays are exceedingly precious for this offense. They just haven't had enough game reps. Achane accounting for 81 of the 90 total yards that the Aggie offense has been able to generate. They just haven't been on the field. And they haven't really been on the field most of the season. Of their 14 plays that they've run this entire half, 10 have been on the ground.
Start this drive at the 25. Back to number 6 again. Has nowhere to go and gets back to the line of scrimmage. Mr. Green cleans things up. Jalen, the transfer from Texas, came over to Mississippi State last year. Has been one of their best defensive backs.
You think about it, someone's going to have to emerge. You know, what about a quick throw? A now pass for the Aggie offense. Just get it out of Johnson's hands quickly, get the ball on the perimeter, see if you can break a tackle.
Achane now moves to the very bottom of your screen.
Last time they were in this formation, they went to Achane at receiver. First play of the game.
Johnson has to step up. And he's tackled at the 32-yard line by Jet Johnson. It'll be 3rd and 3.
Nowhere to go with that ball. Just ends up tucking it, protecting it. Try to get it to 3rd and manageable. Johnson is a mobile quarterback. He can't hurt you. We've seen Mississippi State struggle largely versus LSU. Jaden Daniels in the scramble game, extending plays, hurt the Bulldog defense.
Johnson escapes the pressure and gets drilled as he delivers the ball. Nathaniel Watson almost sacked him once and then finished him off as Johnson was getting rid of the ball. The man they call Buki came unblocked.
Right up the middle, just not accounted for. Protection scheme, you can't have a free runner in the A-gap. Right up the middle of the line of scrimmage. Johnson, left-handed quarterback, trying to get rid of it. It's a nasty hit your quarterback is taking. Easily could have been a false start. Looked like Fothery at right tackle was a little bit early. Crowd certainly felt like he was. Regardless, A&M struggling to maintain possessions and extend drives.
Constantino punting for the 3rd time. This is a cannon. Thomas is going to let it bounce in front of him. And it runs dead for a 38-yard punt. Mississippi State on top and with the football.
Meet Zach. His work-life balance is anything but balanced, but when he gets on the bike, he becomes Zen Zach. And Zen Zach rides with Geico, because saving money and getting great coverage is totally chill. Geico, savings and service for both your sides.
Yo, my name is Luis, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the different flavors that are hitting your mouth at every millisecond. You get the explosion and the zestiness of the chicken, then that spice just kicks in, and if you add that cilantro lime, perfection.
Hi, this is Becky, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is that marinade, they make sure that it is on the entire piece of chicken and not just on top. The pepper, whatever else is secret in their marinade, is amazing.
For you, I wish many things. To see all the world can be. But most of all, I wish you'd never stop wishing.
Quiet. Monotone when I told Pretty Tony, listen to my tone, you ain't catching you a Tony. I walk when they walk, when you running with a shotty. Why you running from us? Why you messing with us? Maybe polar. You ain't ready, ready, roll up. Pull up machete, cut the bamboo paper. Let's roll out, baby, loud. Frankie.
The doctor will be in to see you shortly. Hi.
When you see things differently, you can be the difference. Capella University looks at education differently. Our FlexPath learning format lets you set deadlines and earn your nursing degree on your schedule. Make your difference with Capella University.
Better run through the jungle. Back to Benzema. 1-0 to Real Madrid. Siempre somos los dueños del juego. Billones, billones, empezamos de cero. We're making it, dinero, dinero, y no vamos a parar.
Mike Leach in Mississippi State lead Texas A&M 7-0. The 1st and 10 line is brought to you by T-Mobile. There it is at the 40-yard line. 1st and 10. Bulldogs at their own 30. Dylan Johnson and Simeon Price standing next to Will Rogers, one of the most effective passers in SEC history. And this is Johnson. And he gets 5 more up to the 35 where Jordan Gilbert makes the tackle. 2nd and 5.
I mean, think about it with the penalties for Mississippi State in the first half that kind of diffused some of their offensive drives. What you can't have defensively is this offense picking up 5 yards on first down runs.
His ability to throw is always a story, but I'd argue the story so far has been how effective the Bulldogs have been in the ground game. Rogers will go back to the air and dump it off for a first down. Past midfield to the 47 goes Justin Robinson for 18 more.
Haven't been a ton of yards after the catch in this game. Nice run after the catch this time, though. Mississippi State, they throw the football a lot, so it's unsurprising. They average 200 yards a game after the catch. It's 2nd in the conference, only to Georgia.
And Price hits the hole hard and gets down near another first down for 10 more. Stitch, this team averages 80 yards rushing a game. They have 89 in the first half.
They've done a great job several times, even with the downhill runs. Not only catching the Aggie defense off guard, that time the right side captured well by right tackle Cameron Jones.
Inside the Aggie 40, Rogers steps up and just too tall for Ra Thomas.
We came into this talking about Rogers. There's a ton of pressure on him as a passer because of the number of attempts. But I will say he set the bar exceptionally high for himself based on his own play. There have been several throws really here in the first half. Overshot ducking, came back to him on the back shoulder for the touchdown throw. There he had Thomas, just overshot him downfield. Had a couple other near misses, could have gone the other direction.
And to your point, he's traditionally one of the best, most accurate passers in all of college football. Is the active career leader in completion percentage at 72% coming in. Dylan Johnson gets inside the 35, near the 32. A lot of room to run for these Bulldog running backs in the first half.
They've done a great job. Mississippi State has along the front, as we mentioned. Some new faces retooled on the left side, but to average almost 7 yards a carry here in the first half. Can't have that. That is a losing formula defensively. The Aggies have to fight. Now they have to battle two different modes of moving the football.
Could be 4-down territory. 3rd and 5. Rogers won't need another down. It's a first down to Tulu Griffin, and it's 1st and goal Bulldogs. "27 yards for the man from Philadelphia, Mississippi."
And Rogers got his offense quick, up to the line and over the ball.
To the end zone, incomplete. Jameer Calvin had his hands on it.
Rogers knew exactly what he wanted pre-snap. Watch, the ball's out right now. Ball's already gone before Calvin even comes out of his break. Knew exactly what he wanted, had it, just a little too out in front for Calvin, who could have and should have come up for the catch.
Johnson, not much. Shamar Turner, one of the Shamars on that A&M defensive front. The sophomore making the tackle.
It's huge. I mean, it's a massive understatement for me to say. Given the number of possessions their offense has had, you got to try to find a way to get a stop right here. You got to see if you can't bow your neck and force a field goal attempt by this offense. Big play that time on 2nd down.
It's a 45th offensive play for Mississippi State in this half. Rogers, the catch made, touchdown! Rufus Harvey gets that right hand in.
See him just in and out, pivot right out of that route. You're baiting Johnson on the inside. And, it's pretty close. And I'm sure they've had a couple looks at it already. The replay booth working against Antonio Johnson in coverage. It's a lot of quickness to try to contain in a small space.
We're still looking up here. Daniel Boldrick is the replay official. Leg was very close to the surface.
Pylon cam, that's a good.
Yeah, hard to see.
Yeah.
I think that first angle we saw would be the.
He's got it in his right arm. That's hard. I mean, you could see where his knee would have touched, but you can't tell where the ball is.
The ruling on the field of a touchdown is under video review.
This might be the best look at it.
Watch his left knee here.
Even then, it's hard to tell. Or his left elbow, for that matter. Left knee and left elbow could establish him as down as well. Where's the ball when either would have made contact? To me, it looks like by the time his left elbow makes contact, the ball's clearly broken the plane. It's that left knee that's in question. That looks like 6. I don't see that left knee is down early enough.
Not enough to overturn.
Right. Rule the touchdown on the field. It's got to be indisputable video evidence.
If it stands, Mississippi State has scored touchdowns on 14 straight red zone trips.
And you think about it, the thought is, a quote-unquote air raid offense, they need space. You're throwing to the open grass, but then now you're playing on a condensed field in a red zone. They have been remarkably proficient in this area of the field.
After video review, the ruling of a touchdown stands.
Rufus Harvey has 2 touchdowns on the season. And Will Rogers has 18 passing touchdowns as he continues to rewrite the Mississippi State record books. 10 plays, 70 yards. Junior from Brandon, Mississippi. They're going to hang number 2 up in Davis-Wade Stadium someday. 14-0. Mississippi State.
You see it every day. The first dollar you earned from your first customer. Now, it hangs on your wall at headquarters, a reminder of where you started and the promise of what's still possible. In part because you rely on a banking partner to help you make the right choices on treasury management services and leasehold and equipment loans. We believe real banking is a conversation. Let's talk about your business. Sandy Spring Bank.
Yo, my name is Luis, and the little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is the different flavors that are hitting your mouth at every millisecond. You get the explosion and the zestiness of the chicken, then that spice just kicks in, and if you add that cilantro lime, perfection.
Hi, this is Becky, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Spicy Deluxe is that marinade. They make sure that it is on the entire piece of chicken and not just on top. The pepper, whatever else is secret in their marinade, is amazing.
Bedtime.
I love bedtime.
The thin, sweet bite to end the night. Oreo Thins.
Quiet.
On the zone when I told Pretty Tony, listen to my tone, you ain't catching you a Tony. Award-winning walk when you running with a shiny. Why you running from us? Why you messing with us? Baby Polar, you ain't ready, ready, roll up. Pull up machete, cut the bamboo paper, let's roll out, baby, loud, Frankie.
When you have auto glass damage, let Safelite come to you. My customer enjoys time with her family. So when her windshield got a crack, she scheduled with Safelite in just a few clicks. We came to her house, replaced the windshield, and installed new wipers. That's service on her time.
Here you go.
Wow, thank you. Bye. Don't wait, schedule now.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Hulu Ad Manager is the easy way for businesses like yours to advertise on Hulu. Think of it, your ads on a platform with the best TV around. Get started for as little as $500 per campaign. Sign up for Hulu Ad Manager today.
All right, welcome in. Auto Owners Insurance halftime report coming up in a bit. We will show you some issue potentially with Bryce Young and how Alabama's doing against Arkansas right now. Take you around the top 25. Mississippi State, good end of the half here.
Yeah, real good end of the half. Great drive, but on the ground, 95 yards to Mississippi State, that's impressive.
And A&M less than 100 yards of offense. Guys, we'll see you shortly.
Thanks, Dari. Looking forward to that. Remember when they used to say, we want Bama? Now, those guys in the end zone paint up, we want App State. Of course, the Aggies lost to them earlier this season. Here comes A-Chain. He gets through there. And if anybody's going to bring the Aggies back, it's going to be number 6. That's a 43-yard return.
Couldn't come at a better time. You don't have much time to work with. 3 timeouts, though, and a ball at midfield because of the efforts of this man. Not just a great runner, at the running back spot, receiver out of the backfield. He's been lined up at receiver today, the majority of the offense, and now a fantastic kick return.
50 seconds left in the half. You got 3 timeouts, and you get the ball first to start the second half. Seems like it's critical to get some points here.
Opportunity here, right? The challenge has been all game long. Can you just pick up first downs? When you execute here, keep your pocket clean. See if you can't pick up some yards on a first down run. If you're going to keep it on the ground, where can you crease this Mississippi State defensive front? We've seen A-Chain. He's gotten loose a couple of times.
They got to deal with the Cowbells in their first true road game of the season. Johnson on the low snap, and he's going down. Diving back ahead to the 37, but J.P. Purvis was untouched.
Once again, in the middle. Just not sound. Overloaded in the A-gaps. That time the right guard and back took the inside rusher. Purvis comes clean. Bad snap. That's low. They've had difficulty with the center quarterback exchange. Bryce Foster, one of the few experienced guys along that front, missed a lot of time in camp. He's had a lot of low snaps, hurt them last week as well versus Arkansas.
Hey, Alyssa, I was talking about it being October the first road game of the season for the Aggies. Need to get some points here.
Yeah, and quite the challenge with those Cowbells, as you mentioned. We know what kind of home field advantage it is here in Starkville. Of course, I talked to this A&M offense throughout the week, and you know they practice with noise, but it is hard to recreate the sound of the clangah. So you can see how that's affecting them. Also, a chip on this Mississippi State defense's shoulder. They remember what Max Johnson did coming into Starkville with that LSU team beating the Bulldogs a season ago.
Good point. They'll stop ringing them until Max gets the snap, and then they'll be back after it when he has the football. Listen. Throws a dart to Moose Muhammad, and Muhammad has the first down inside the 40.
Clean pocket. One of the few times that Max Johnson has had the opportunity to operate from a clean pocket. Delivers a strike to Moose Muhammad, who has to bounce back from a rough performance last week in the victory over the Razorbacks. Came in a key time to push the ball downfield.
24-yard pickup for the sophomore from Charlotte. It's only the 4th completion for Max in the first half. Drifts back, throws into double coverage, and incomplete. Was looking for Moose again.
That ball came out of Max Johnson's hand. Kind of funny that time. Fluttered a little bit. He's been under duress quite a bit. We talked about the pressure that's on him from a position standpoint, but in game, about 35% of their pass attempts and dropbacks results in a pressure of some type. Mississippi State has heated up the Aggie quarterback a couple times just in this series alone. The pocket was collapsing on that last attempt.
Johnson underneath. First down for Donovan Green, the big tight end, breaking a tackle near the 23-yard line. That's 16 more.
Well, we talked about Mississippi State needing to tackle in space. A&M just took a timeout. Donovan Green, the true freshman, how about that run after catch? Secure it and get upfield right now. Aggies want to make sure they're able to capitalize on this opportunity, and Green's over there. A little bit shaken up after that play, but all this was set up by Devon A-Chain's return. Broke that thing all the way to the 50. Gave the Aggies a short field. They weren't able to capitalize on a great field position earlier. Can they do it here right before half? A crucial offensive possession where the plays have been precious, sparse for the Aggies offensively here in the first half.
Got to get some points. If you're Jimbo Fisher, you get the football first in the second half. 23 seconds left with one timeout. Johnson is going to go down again. Randy Charlton. Aggies use their last timeout with 17 seconds left in the half.
Jet Johnson coming off the edge. He ends up gaming on the inside. Great job late, because that ends up opening it up for Randy Charlton.
Texas A&M, their third and final of the half.
You're going to get that sack.
Timeout.
You get in the red zone. 2-minute drill. No negative yardage plays. No sacks. They got timeouts to save you. As you see, they're now banged up.
Stinch, that's Jordan Spasovic-Moko. He's listed as the backup right guard, but he's been seeing some action today with Bryce Foster not able to play every snap. Foster mono in camp in August, so still not at 100% yet. Sophomore from Australia. As he goes off, the Aggies will come back on with no timeouts left. It's 2nd and 17 for Coach Fisher's team, and you got to be careful here with no timeouts.
There's no question. Now, right now, you're thinking, okay, you're Max Johnson, 17 seconds to play. You're talking about an average of 6 seconds when the ball's in play. You got to get over that football quickly. You get a completion inbounds over the middle of the field. You got to hurry up, get up there, spike the football.
Johnson to the end zone. Incomplete. And here come the flags.
Yeah.
Chris Marshall was covered up by Jackie Matthews.
Matthews panicked a little bit. You could see Marshall fighting back to the ball.
Pass interference, defense, number 8. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
6th penalty on Mississippi State in the first half.
7 seconds. See Matthews trying to fight back across. Matthews felt it. Didn't have an idea of where that football was. Only cost you 15 yards. Better than a touchdown.
10 seconds left in the half, Stitch, with the Aggies snapping it from the 15, and again, no timeouts.
You see much shorter football field here now for Johnson.
0 of 1 on in the red zone. They fumbled the first time they were down here. Johnson can't take a snap. It's fumbled and picked up. Buki Watson caused it, and Tyrus Wheat recovered it.
Fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Mississippi State. Please reset the game clock to 4 seconds. 0-4.
State's been attacking the A gaps over and over and over again. This time it's a twist game. Bring 2 second-level defenders. There's confusion between the back and the guard. Who's picking up who? The 3rd sack by Mississippi State on this drive. And once again, a turnover by the Aggie offense undoes a scoring opportunity, the 2nd of the game.
Both in the red zone.
Both in the red zone. You don't get the touchdown, you pick up the PI. About as best as you could hope for. Only burned 7 seconds. And you end up turning the football back over with no points to show for it.
Some teams take a knee at the end of the half. Leach still lines up in the shotgun. Marks runs it ahead for 8 yards, and the Bulldogs carry a 14-0 lead at the half. Remember, the Aggies were down 14-0 to Arkansas last week and came back and won that game. Coming up at halftime, you can watch the live performance of the famous Maroon Band at Mississippi State University on SEC Network Plus. Start streaming now on the ESPN app. Let's go to Alyssa and Coach Leach.
Coach, how's your defense been able to be so effective so far?
What's that?
How's your defense been able to be so effective so far?
Well, when they do their job, they're pretty good. We got to be better at getting home because I think we can put even more pressure on him.
Thanks, Coach.
Great job, Alyssa. You caught up with him. 14-0 Mississippi State leads A&M at the break. Dari, Chris, Takio, and the gang are back in the studio getting ready. And as we said, the famous Maroon Band is warming up on SEC Plus and also on the ESPN app. We'll take you back to studio. Dari Noka, take it away.
All right, TZ, we do like to call Ben Watson the gang. It is the Auto Owners Insurance halftime report. It's good to have you with us.
Good to be here, my friend.
Yes, indeed. All right, how about Alabama and Arkansas? And yes, indeed, letting loose. Alabama's never beaten, or rather, Arkansas has not beaten a Nick Saban-coached Alabama. And early on, Bryce Young to Kobe Prentice touchdown.
Sorry, what was the story heading into the weekend? It was how bad Arkansas's secondary was.
Yeah.
One of the worst in the country against the pass. Well, they said, hey, hold my beer. They gave up 173 yards through the air in the first quarter alone.
Only some of them said, hold my beer. Some of them said, hold my Dr. Pepper, perhaps. Young to Isaiah Bond, 53 yards. And then Young into the end zone. Yeah, that's easy.
He's having a little bit too much fun out here. The defender has to close that gap and challenge him. But when you got a guy like Bryce Young, I don't think a lot of defenders actually want to try to tackle him.
Well, here's a concern for Alabama because Young tried to escape pressure. Drew Sanders gets him by the ankle. Young goes down, and he eventually got up, kind of pointing to his right shoulder as it slammed into the turf. No word yet officially on what it is, but with 7:24 to go in the second, he left the game.
And regardless of whatever position you may play, that's never a good time to have your shoulder or a good position to be in when you land on the ground.
Yeah. So here you go. There's where he's eventually he's going to go to the tent, slams his helmet down. Jalen Milroe, second-year QB, number 112 in the 2021 ESPN 300, runs that in. And then Milroe not done yet. In fact, Alabama's had two different quarterbacks with a rushing and passing touchdown in the first half.
On the JoJo side.
Yeah, JoJo in for the first time this year.
Yeah, good to see that. And the crazy thing is how Bill O'Brien, you get a Heisman quarterback in Bryce Young that is knocked out of the game. One of the things in a Bill O'Brien offense is having guys that can plug in. Not that anybody's going to ever replace Bryce Young, but one thing Coach O'Brien did say was that he was impressed by Jalen Milroe's improvement over the last year, especially in the preseason. You never